Everybody's in here. There's a gray square. Where's the gray square at? All right. So I wanted to go over this week with y'all. Let's see how the week played out. So we had Monday. No, actually, let me use the spot. It'll be easier. Boom. So we started Monday. We were inside of a bearish fair value gap, chopped around a little. Tuesday pushed up a little. Wednesday dropped down. I think that's when we had that data. To Thursday, a huge gap up. Huge. This is when those numbers dropped, which carried over to Friday, where we had this. What was it? Thursday. I'm sorry, Thursday. We had that gap up, gap and go, which carried over to Friday. So yeah, I actually was surprised because I was expecting us to take out the lows until that news dropped, had a level down here. I was expecting us to hit on price, but you know, you can never really predict, especially with news. This happened in pre-market. This one candle literally jumped up. It gapped on the 15-second. If any of you were up when it happened, I know I was, and I was like, what the hell? Yeah, on the 1 minute you can see it, but you can't see it, but on the 15-second it gapped. So the red line actually was me painting the level, because before it, I had kind of found a level here that I was looking for price to react to. So I've been working on news, trying to play news better, at least Fed news. But like one thing I do, I try to make sure I'm not trading in front of the news. So all of this, you know, this was after hours and the day before. See that? Boom. Wednesday, nothing. They held it, you know, completely sideways to do that. Boom. Coming into Thursday. Boom. So the reason the market stayed flat like that is because of news. Usually they're trying to either accumulate positions, and a lot of people, the retail traders like us, are either trading the consolidation or they're waiting. So like me, I was kind of patient. I was taking small trades, but I'm not gonna lie, I was getting frustrated. But I was honestly expecting us to take out this liquidity and reverse. Once we kept going to here, I knew that realistically wasn't any stopping us. And as you see on Thursday, we did that, had to push through, and we continued it on Friday. Friday was a little crazy because we did have that open here, and we pushed through on these levels a few times. But I wanted to show y'all how with the strat alone, you could have technically played Friday pretty easily. We had a lower low in pre, or you know, after hours, whatever you want to call it, from here to here, which had made the broad information. So this is like 10 o'clock to about around 6 a.m. Lower low to high off this range contraction right here. I had just marked the open. I didn't have to mark midnight because midnight was like way down there. We didn't even come into the range of midnight, I don't think. Well, actually, we did, but I didn't really mark it at the time. I just marked the open, yeah, because we were way down there. So we had, give me just a second, I don't know what these people were. We had this slight push up and dip, which I kind of waited. I was waiting until this straightened out. But if you'd have played the strat, you'd have saw this push up and dip. And then you saw right here where we made our first higher low. I'm pretty sure like on here there's probably a breaker structure. I mean, it's technically a breaker structure, but I don't see any gaps. FPGs, oh, there was kind of one. Maybe on the 5 there probably was a few. Yeah, on the 5 there was one right here. Fair value gap that kind of ended up getting filled in. Like this whole range here. So, but realistically, sometimes I don't even stress. I just look for, a higher low, because I figured if we were going to trend, I just needed a day to trend. So if you look off the strat, once we made the higher low and started pushing up, there was a 2 down, 2 up 15. And realistically, if you just trailed your stop, you could have held this the whole day. Right here, there was just a plain TTO, and this was over the open. So usually whenever we go over or under any type of open, I'm always paying attention. And then if you look from the swing high to swing low of this TTO, you can see it was like a retracement of, I think like to the 60 or 79 area. Yeah, it's a 0.79. So it's kind of like it lined up perfectly with that 2.215. So either way, you could have played it with the strat or with, SMC concepts. So this bullish fair value gap that we had created right here. Something like that. So yeah. I always try to think of the day. Like I said, I'll approach it with like some type of bias, but then I'm always just thinking if we're gonna have a day where we expand the range, contract, or just chop sideways. So once I saw this, it was pretty obvious. Ended up playing this twice. Played this in the morning, took a nap, and then came back and played power hour. I wish I was just up the whole time, though. I could have held that. Another thing, like here, this was a good day. You could have literally just trailed your stop with something like ATR trailing stop loss, because it never gave you any type of signal to sell the whole time. Yeah, I like to use that. Outside of that, you would have just saw this as a clean trend line. And just know when we produce a trend line, eventually they will break. That's kind of like the point of them, but also know this is a buildup of liquidity. So I just watched to see how far we are away from it. What you see, we touched it once and didn't come back. So that shows there was a lot of strength. So, boom. All right. So now we're looking into next week, this week coming up. Still a little undecided. I do see we have, it was a small gap. Yeah, so we do have a gap in this area in price I was looking at. But to be realistic, I think if we end up touching this level, we might reverse, or even before that. I was watching that on SPY and ES, because today we're gonna open pretty soon. If we expand the range, that's cool. If not, I expect us to come back down and pull back. Yeah, so I got the next high, will be up here. I think this was like a monthly level too. But yeah, we have this whole little gap to fill in that I'm watching to see how we react. And it's kind of like a little order block that had formed. So I'm gonna play it patient. We do have FTFC, but I'm expecting us to probably push up a little before maybe retracing into this little gap we created now. So I don't want to play it too aggressively yet. And I think too, there was like a retracement area we had that we were about to hit from high to low. So that's what really made me like, all right, maybe I should watch. It was like here. We were bearish, 6279 area. So I'm watching that because, like I said, more than likely we did drop down, take a low, and technically shift structure upwards. So we are technically coming into, but like ICT, we call it a buy side of the curve, or the strat, we would just see as time frame continuity flipping. But like I said, I expect us to have some type of retracement over the next few days. So I want to play that carefully. Yeah, we're above both of the lows. So 2 down, 2 up month, still in force. Target about 412, 410 area. Yeah. All right, let's look at these sectors now. See what each sector is doing. For the first one, we're gonna have the XL real estate. We have a 2-2 continuation in force on the month. We got a trend on the week. It looks like a 2-1-2 continuation. Or that's a 2 up, actually. I'm sorry. We still have a trend on the week with TFC. We have an order broad information we're actually about to touch. We're pushing into. So keep an eye on real estate. Could be getting quote unquote exhausted. XLP, consumer staples. 2-1-2 continuation. Looks like we were at an old monthly low. Yep. And a 2 down, 2 up that is in force for this level right here. It's going to be about, what's that, 74.49. So that's going to be 74.52. XLP, consumer staples. So think Coke, Kroger, that Clorox, all the old people stocks that we love. Oh, I'm sorry, the first one was XLE, my bad. This was XLE, not RE, my fault. Now we're on XLRE. Okay, actually I like XLRE, real estate. It's got a lot of, looks like magnitude to the upside now. This is on a month, another 2 down, 2 up. A lot of stuff is gonna be 2 down, 2 up because on Friday, Thursday, Friday, the whole entire market, completely gapped off of what happened. We had a 2 down, 2 up on the 2 week into a 2 continuation. Then we had a continuation on the week. Next pivot we're looking at 39.85. That's going to be old real estate. It's one of the best. There's like PLD, but those spreads are pretty bad. Also create a fair value gap. XLC communications, another 2 down, 2 up on the week. Month, we have a 2 down. We're already past the 50% just looking at it. So we should be on the lookout for outside month. Outside month on XLC. That's going to be your Facebooks, Twitter. There's another one I saw, actually, some random trader on Instagram. I posted it. I'm going to drop it when I see it, but it actually had a really good setup. And looks like we're coming out of a zone I had marked a while ago. Kind of like an order block, or I marked this one. I thought it was a supply zone. I'm in a demand zone, my bad. Order block, supply zone, kind of the same thing. So be on the lookout for outside month, XLC. Upper target right there. And if we hit the target for outside month, we're also going to trigger outside 2 month. So seems very likely. That's only That's only 2 points. So you could definitely do that. I think the ATR for 2 days on this is, yeah, $2. So we have a very probable setup on XLC. So XLC, I'll be on high alert, looking for that. XLI. Woo. This is one I will just go, especially if you forget about it, which I had. I remember I was looking at it like a few days ago. It was a few weeks ago, XLI and utilities. Hitting technically about to hit magnitude, and there's the higher high of this BF, current BF we're in. Another thing with full time frame continuity, it did just gap too. Usually a gap is a sign of strength. So looking at that, especially when you see this consolidation on the lows, you can see where they were taking buys both times. All under here, you can see they were going, people with the money were accumulating this whole area. All of this was buys. So definitely watching XLI infrastructure. Fell out of 1BF. Much older monthly broad information I had. Back into that one. Some of these old levels, I don't even know what they are. But y'all know me, I like my screen to stay clean. XLK, it's tech, it's the SPY. Not much to say, it's gonna be the same thing as the SPY. Similar setup. I don't really play XLK, anything I play the SPY, but they're the same thing. XLK is the technology sector of the SPY. I chart the SPY and usually like the top 5 of SPY. So not much to say. XLY, consumer discretionary, one of my favorites because you have your Walmarts, Target, Amazon, Tesla, all consumer discretionary things. Definitely liking the setup on this one because of the aggressive pull down, pull up with the gap. Like the rest of the market, we got a bunch of pivots and we're coming into December. So, retail spending is about to be up. All of this frivolous spending, discretionary spending is going to go up. Smaller BF, we already created right there with magnitude. So magnitude up to 148, 150. We'll probably break through that. And then we have a much older broad information. We have like 2 or 3 we're inside of. Let me look at the month on it. Oh, and we're about to flip the month. So it's like tomorrow we're gonna flip the month. This is also another one with an outside month setup, XLY. So we got a lot of good setups. Like I said, I'm looking for Monday. A lot of stuff will probably pull back Monday or Tuesday before we push. We could either, like I said, pull back for a day or two, or we could, technically pull back and shop the whole week with a lot of stuff before attempting to make a higher high. XLF, finance, this is going to be your banks and creditors. Another one, 2 down, 2 up on the month. Right at the pivot. The next pivot is going to be about 38.60. And another one with a strong trend that just was created. See a retracement into this area. Be wary of that, but that's going to be all your banks, fintechs. Another one that gapped, hit an older broad information. One from way back there. It has full time frame continuity though. Yeah, my favorite in XLF is going to be like probably Visa MA. I haven't really played any others. Visa MA are move the same. Just think of MA as Visa with a higher ATR, a little bit more costly too. XLB building. Wow, yeah, this one gapped up severely, but you can see right here, it's already made a slightly higher high. Whatever it hit that day, I don't know what happened, but you already see it severely, sold off and it's consolidated. Usually when I see that, in my opinion, that's a sign of a reversal. But you can see this looks like a gap year I don't really play XLB too much. I don't know if CAT is an XLB or XLI, but keep an eye on that one. Also keep an eye on, I think it's HD is one I got on high alert. That one has earnings this week. XL utilities, this one I do like. It's another one I gap down, pull back. You can see it's getting aggressively bought up, but could be also a retracement into that fair value gap to make that 2022 model right there. Keep an eye on XLU. See what the week and month look like on that one. Two down, two up, kind of enforced, but it looks so weak already. Yeah, so usually a lot of them I can just kind of eyeball like what looks likely. It's already selling off. To me, it looks a lot more likely. And last spot we're at higher highs. So we did technically make a lower low, but it depends on how strong this sector is. XLU utilities. Yeah, red dude. Still push up, but this one I'm kind of unsure. Usually I'm unsure, I just wait. SME, materials, mining. Looks like we're coming back to an old chop zone. We had a breakout and we sold off. And yeah, I just don't like the movement of this. I think one of the top ones gonna be like Helga Mining. Had that one, the Boss Gang, a long time ago. I've only played them a few times. Yeah, not really a big fan. I know that mining though is another one where their contracts are really cheap. When the setup is there, they could run, but everybody's gonna have what they prefer to trade. This is a 212 on the month. We take the target. Here's the next one. That's 53. Well, looks like we're already filling it. XLV, our healthcare sector. This one is another great one that does like to run. It's crazy how it looks on the month, 2-2 month in force, but we once again are seeing a pullback. 2-2 continuation. Triple twos on the week. And it looks like we have 2 up, 2 down in force. Kind of slowly rising up the brown information, but it's just been looks like a grind. So yeah, that's going to be obviously your PFE, and your Moderna. So that is healthcare. Almost there. XRT is like the newer one. It's retail. I still haven't really taken my time to go through this one, but from what I see, it's retail. Found that one day on TripSpider. Have a small gap. We have a continuation in force. We had a slight pullback also. That was just excuse me. That was just in the day. XRT, like I said, I don't know much about that sector. And then lastly, we got Jets. We had another one that gapped and continued. Looks like we're underneath a much older broad information, way up here. So we'll see if we end up rejecting this broad information before pushing up to this next BF that will be from here to here. I can kind of see. Yeah, I'm actually gonna add an alert on Jets. It's now alerted. And then of course we got all the arcs. I don't really pay attention to arcs. Sometimes I do. Let me just look at ARC K. Oh wow. Jesus Christ. Our case coming out this severe long-term sell-off. Had a crazy 2-2 gapper, and the next day, actually, ARC might be something I'll look at. We could take out, what is this, 3? So we got an outside week, anything above this, 3-2 continuation, range expansion, and I kind of do like to take range expansion plays. So Cyberdog once had mentioned that he's a fan of them, and Rob wasn't. Yeah, me, especially learning more to SMC, knowing what they technically do with a 3-2, I kind of like that. So I'll be on the lookout for that one. Next level is, I got all these levels. 42, 42.75. Contracts are pretty cheap usually with ARC. So now I'm gonna add to my list. And then last 2, silver and gold. I really primarily like silver and gold. One of my favorites to trade. This is one I'm mad I missed because this one gaps up. So this was a 2020 level that we had fell into the last week or so. And as you see, silver, when it comes out of lows, it just continues to gap. So the way I play silver is like weird. I don't take, like I use the strat, but I almost think of it more like supply and demand. I kind of just wait for it to get at lows. And I think silver is probably one of the best ones to actually sit in your contracts versus day trade. You can day trade, but it's always the overnight movement with silver, usually. Like it almost always is gonna gap at some point overnight off of lows. Like every time it touches this level, it'll gap up. Every time. Every last time. So we just made a higher high. Expect us to probably pull back a little into this purple area. I think this is usually when I do purple, I haven't done it in a while, but this was at some point a low value node or gap. But as you see now, it's not. But at some point, this probably was. That's the only time I really mark the purple zone. Oh, yep. There you go. There's a gap that we filled in. So that's good to see because price, usually doesn't like the existing gaps, which makes sense why there's just a low volume area in general. So seeing that we could probably come down, touch this gap and bounce. So actually I want to add a few alerts right there, knowing that. I'm always just using my clues to help me with price. Down, up. Actually, I'm gonna have it right above. I'm gonna move this one down about here. Or I'll just go up here just to be safe. Now I can cross, I can watch it. And I'm gonna have another one. I'm gonna cross this back up. Here. Oh yeah, SLV, one of my favorite ones to trade or hold. Countries are very cheap, very affordable, like 7 cents, 10 cents a time. Sometimes it's cheaper, more or less, 19 cents. Yeah, very good buy. Like people who bought these in monthlies probably didn't even pay like $1. And easily 1,000%. Yeah, I figure you went $3 off of these. So yeah. I'm guessing they pay like 50, 60 cents. Delta went crazy. Delta goes crazy on these. So yeah, silver is one of my favorite to trade. This would be it. Oh, we got the semis. Let me look at some of the semis real quick. SOXL, my favorite. It's double leverage. This one looks super strong. Another one gapped up. Might want to see a retracement first. Basically, I'm always looking for a TTO. I guess True would say TTO True. So we're probably at the origin of a new trend line, to be honest with it. So I would be looking for a retracement, pullback, whatever, into this level. Crazy sell-off forever. Yeah, we're at a super low with them. I'm definitely looking for a TTO on semis. Have this big FEG in the middle. We technically took out these lows. So 2 week or something like that. Monthly. Let's see. With the monthly, you can kind of see it a lot better. You can see we took it out this swing low. Low. Now we're looking to manipulate, which we did, and push up and take out these swing highs. Same thing as the strat, very similar concepts. So, tracement, bounce into these highs. Alert right there. I think that's gonna be it. Oh, we can look at crypto real quick. Oh, crypto market got clapped. Thanks to Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever his name is. TFC to the downside. He basically ended the world. Yeah, it just looks like a mess. But I know a lot of people, from what I'm hearing, they're waiting because they want to get Bitcoin at a really low level. So yeah, you could possibly, I guess, accumulate some Bitcoin at this level or below. Jesus Christ, in the future. Wow. Yeah. And then if you look at Bitcoin itself. Same thing. I like to look at Bitcoin a lot, especially when it's like off times where futures close, like right now. I use this like a leading indicator for the market. You see, try to push up and it's still coming back down. So yeah. All right. Well, there's the sectors. Like I said, I'm gonna have a watch list later on. I wanted to at least go over the sectors first for y'all. Now we can get to any questions y'all got. Anybody got questions? You can either raise your hand, I can unmute you, or you can type in the chat. Let me end the recorded session. Format it.